Hi guys, and welcome back to another Video Game with Powers. I'm Jake, and in today's video I will be unboxing the board game City of Myrkesh. Now, City of Myrkesh is a brand new board game. I ended up backing this on Kickstarter. City of Myrkesh is a deck building game, but it has a unique feel and vibe to it, and essentially the premise of the game is a monster has invaded the city that you guys reside in, and so you are going to be working with these 5 districts to take out the monster. But it has this cool, unique, semi-cooperative feel to it where, like I said, you guys are working together to take out this monster, but the overall premise is to get the most prestige points by kind of doing the most damage to the monster, as well as the cards that you buy in your hand to score the most victory points. So you want to work together, but at the same time, you want to make sure you're doing the most damage possible to this monster. But City of Myrkesh is coming to you guys from Grindstone Games. It's designed by Mark Wilson. Ages 14 plus, 2 to 5 players, 60 to 90 minutes. Now, we had the pleasure of playtesting a prototype of this game and featured that on our channel about a year ago, or maybe close to a year and a half ago. Just wanted to give a huge shout out again to you, Mark Wilson. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to showcase City of Myrkesh. We really did enjoy this. I do believe I gave this game an 8 or an 8.5. This really does add a unique twist on deck building games that I really did enjoy. But let's go ahead and jump down to the table and bust in the final product here of City of Myrkesh and see what it is looking like. Alright guys, so here is the front cover of the game. Now the box is actually a little bigger than I anticipated it to be. I remember the prototype version we got was probably a little smaller, but not too much. It's just a little bit thicker than what I would have expected, but at the same time, it is not a bad thing. Apologize for the noise here. All right, let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. Okay, so we have the rulebook right here. Let's take a look at this rulebook. I love the Victorian era theme and vibe to the rulebook. The text does look very clear. Does look like it's got some large text here, so you don't have to really zoom it this bad boy in, but it does look like there is a lot of text on a lot of these pages. Might give people some, might trigger some people a little bit, but looks clear and concise. You know, there didn't have a whole lot of issues with the rulebook. Everything in the rulebook told you exactly how to play. Around 20 pages, good rulebook. Okay, this is the game board. We'll take a look at that thing last. Let's take a look at our components here, okay? Some of this stuff has already been punched out. These will be your player resource boards here. So being able to track your hand size, your coins, your attack, and your movement. So these are nice cardboard punch outs here. You can see some of the each individual player board that they will have. This game does play up to 5 people. All right, this is the these. Let's see. I don't remember exactly what they're called. Token explainers, maybe, or 6-sided die resource trackers. I guess these would just be considered resource trackers as well, but essentially these are like monster informations. So depending on how much damage you do to the monster and where you hit the monster, certain effects are going to happen. So this is kind of like a monster player aid for each of the players there. We have all of our tokens. Okay, all of our tokens. Again, thick, sturdy cardboard. I love how thick these tokens are being used a lot. These tokens are going to be used a lot, so I'm glad that you know, they are made very well, nice and thick here. So these are all of your different statuses and things like that that you can that can happen to you during the course of the game. Okay, these are our rubble. All right, this is some rubble here. So the monster is going to do some damage to the city, and when he does, we might have to put some rubble out there. Okay, nice. This was glad this is a cardboard here. Feels great. Looks awesome too. Really excited to do that. Okay, here are some more player aids. All right, we have all of these status effects and what they do exactly. Alrighty, monster's gonna be in here. Let's take a look at some of these tokens. So these are just some resource cubes right here. Nice. These are some more trackers. So these are gonna be your resource trackers. So green is gonna be your money or the movement. Red is your attack. Yellow is your gold, and then white is your hand size. I do think that I had cubes. If I remember correctly, these are the same cubes that were in that prototype version. These trackers, though, look to be a little more refined. They look thicker. They look clearer. Just look to have a better feel. I think the original ones in the prototype were a little bigger and not as thick. They were thinner. So that's cool. I do like the thicker tokens here. What do we got? All right, the gems. I do think these gems were the same in the prototype version, but these are your prestige. I do believe I can. So purple prestige and blue prestige. Okay, those are those tokens right there. We have your player markers and dice. So these are going to be your player people right here, moving around the map. Love that. Perfect, perfect. We got the cards here. We got all of these different cards. We'll open those in just a sec. Let's take a look at the glorious monster and how he turned out. Man, that is awesome. Look at that. I'm so cool. That's pretty cool. I love all the details here. Let me zoom in a little closer. All the details of our Hydra. Man, this guy turned out really, really nice. It's easy to see all of the different sides and what they say. Man, kudos to you guys. Very, very well done of how this Hydra turned out. And I do love how there's a little protection thing for him. Okay, last but not least, we just have the board, and then we have some of these cards, which I want to look at specifically because some of these wound cards were not, didn't have icons and things on them from the original prototype that we played. The board, also, I think I remember I saw something that the board will change just a little bit, and everything is going to be able to fit on the board now. I do remember in the prototype version of the game, some of these cards did not fit. Okay, so you can see, I'll turn the board around here in a second, but yeah, we got the board here, which I do enjoy the spaces for the bleed, the heavy, and the light wounds. I love this right here. We got our supplies. The main board itself looks to be almost the same. Here's the difference that I do enjoy is in the prototype on these two sides here, these decks would hang off the board. So glad to see that they changed that to make this back deck here fit in that as well. And then if I turn the board sideways, there's kind of a better view of it sideways. We got status tokens and the monster health depending on your player count, remove cards, and things like that. Man, loved how the board turned out. I think it looks really well. Looks great, colors vibrant, everything is distinct between all 5 districts. And so, yeah, basically how the game is going to play. Your monster is going to sit here, if I can get him out. He will sit here in the middle, all right, and he'll be rotating throughout the course of the game, depending on certain actions and stuff like that. And with your little player guy, what you're going to be doing is you will be moving around these different spots inside the district, and depending on where you're at, you're going to be able to buy cards from either this first row or that back row of these different districts. And like I said, each of these different district cards are going to provide you with a different type of mechanic. So I'll just kind of show you a little bit of some of these different mechanics. Like I do believe, if I remember correctly, the wilds, so like here's a wilds. Wilds were all about attack. So gain to attack, taunt, gain attack, different things like that. Okay, yep, those are some more wilds. Wilds were all about attacks. We have the merchants row, which is all about gaining coins. All right, and also you can combo certain icons or districts together to gain additional bonuses. So those are the merchant rows. Okay, don't want to spoil any of these cards. The royal courts, I believe, were maybe like a in-between, or they helped you gain prestige. I do believe you may reveal an ally card from your hand and put it on the bottom of your deck. Or maybe they might have just been like extra effects. Oh yeah, gain prestige. Spend 4 more gold, gain 2 prestige. So they were all about gaining you prestige, which is victory points at the end of the game. The blue, this is the Undercity. They were all about messing with the other players. So giving players certain status effects and things like that. That's pretty cool. Those, I like those. And then you had the Industrial Grounds, which were about drawing cards. Okay, so those are your 5 different districts. So we had attack, drawing cards, gaining prestige, gaining coins, and then you had messing with your opponent. So those are some decks of cards, and essentially, like I said, you would have a deck there and a deck there, which you'd be able to buy from. Okay, let's take a look at these wound cards here, because in the prototype they did not have any of the stuff. So with light wound, all right, I like this injury. It tells you exactly heal. I do like the photo there for your light wounds. Heavy wounds, let's see what this says, see if these change at all. This cannot be discarded from abilities. You can only play this card if you have no other ally cards in your hand. After you play this, remove from the deck. When you do, place a light wound. Okay, so that remains the same, but I do enjoy the artwork on that one. That's pretty cool. And then bleed was the last one. Let's see what this is. So this card cannot be discarded from abilities that would make a player discard 1 or more cards. When played, remove this card from the deck. Okay, so you're just bleeding and removing stuff from the deck. So those look to be the same, but they have some nice different artwork on them. And the difference there is in the bleeding wound, we're just bleeding out, and this one we are I got a nurse kind of treating us. Okay, so these are just more cards in each deck here. All right, and then the last deck we have is our I think this is going to be the basic cards. So all the basic cards, so the starting ally cards, being able to generate attack and coin, and then of course a nomad where we can choose both. We got some starting peasants as well, more light and more wound cards. All right, guys. Well, look, that is everything that comes in the board game City of Myrkesh right here. And man, I am so excited to continue to dive into this game. Unfortunately, we did not get to keep our prototype version. We did have to send it back. I was super bummed about that because I really wanted to dive into this game a whole lot. What I enjoy so much about this game as a deck builder is this traversal mechanic where you have to essentially sacrifice some of your cards in order to move around the board. So now not only am I playing cards to gain resources, I have to decide when to play these cards to use as a movement and negate all of my abilities as well. And so it adding like a semi-cooperative aspect to it, I think is just really is what took it up a notch for me. So I cannot wait now that the finished product is here. Finished product looks awesome. Mark Wilson, thank you so much for allowing us to be on this journey with you. This finished product looks phenomenal and gorgeous, and we are excited to dive into some more City of Myrkesh. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. And as always, if you're not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, y'all have a great one. Bye.